now we're at the time where the Hamashiach is getting ready to come.
And hidden riches of secret places, that thou mayest know that I am the Lord.
Last words, brother.
Shalom, ma.
All right.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. All right. Shabbat shalom, Yasharel.
That's right. Shabbat shalom, Israel. What's going on?
All right. Going to give y'all a few more seconds to get on. As we waiting for the rest of the brews to get on, I'll let Brother Eitan go ahead and hit up the your subscribers. Let y'all see on the screen. Get a good welcome. All right. Good deal. You can hear us. You see the one in the box already. All praises to the mighty Abba. All right. So Yasharel, we have a very intense lesson. All right. This is going to be one of those headbangers that you're going to really, really have to pay attention to. All right. The master's pet.
The what?
The master's pet.
Bring it out.
Now, we've been dealing with some things for a very long time, y'all. And this needs to really be brought out. All right.
All right.
Now, we know that there's a lot, we know that there's righteous sisters out there. All right. And when me and brother made a vow to spare not, to cry loud, spare not, and show our people their trespasses, is exactly what we're going to do. All right. And this one is going to be about the weaponization of the so-called black woman. Now, you may be saying, well, wait a minute now. What about the brothers? Hey, I'm going to tell you something. When you look at the big perspective picture, who is this war really against? When you really think about it, what is the main purpose of this? Who are the ones that they're trying to destroy? Who do you think is the head? You got to really think, you got to really look at the big picture and see what's going on and see why the enemy is attacking. And what better way to bring down the black man than using the black woman? Now, you may say, well, how come the white woman can't destroy the black man? Because white woman cannot destroy the black man. The white woman has no power to destroy the black man. But because the Most High made the black woman for the black man, the Israelite man, what better way to destroy a black man than weaponizing the black woman?
God.
Now, we're going to show you ways. We're going to show you the many ways that the government has weaponized the black woman. And we're going to show you how this effect is taking place as we speak in this very moment. All right. From the court systems all the way through the judicial systems, all that stuff. It's going to blow your mind. Now, how many of y'all ever seen Raised by Wolves? It was a show that they took off from HBO. Hey, brother, is that music? What volume is that music on?
Hey, y'all, is that too loud for y'all? Let me know if the music's too loud for y'all. If we're if y'all struggling to hear us over the music.
Yeah, it sounds really loud on my end, but it could just be my end.
Yeah, we're on 11.
Oh, okay.
All right, Israel. Yeah, give me a 1 in the chat if it's too loud. All right, give me a 1 in the chat if it's too loud, and give me a 2 in the chat if it's just right or it needs to be a little bit lower. All right.
Okay.
Give me a 2 if it's just right.
All right.
All right. 1 is fine. Okay.
1 is fine. Okay. All right. So some of you said that y'all heard about the show called Raised by Wolves, right? It was a show years ago on HBO, and they took it off. I thought it was really good, but it really brought out some things. It really told what Hollywood is trying to portray. All right. I want to bring up something here. Now, I want you to look closely at this right here. Now, on the left-hand side, you see this white woman, right? You see this white woman with the straight hair. She looks like the average white woman. And I want you to look at it real closely. And now on the right, anytime that she became weaponized, she became very powerful. I want you to look at how Hollywood puts things out in the perspective right in our faces in plain sight. You notice the braids, right? Whenever she's weaponized, you notice the braids, and all of a sudden her skin tone gets darker, like a bronze. Now, who closely represents this woman on the right with the braids and the bronze skin complexion? From the left, it's a white woman with straight hair, and all of a sudden, when she's weaponized, she changes into this bronze-like woman with braids. Now, Hollywood, man, they know what they're doing, and they love to bring out stuff and put it right in our faces. All right. Now, y'all know all about Black Lives Matter. Y'all know the three ladies who started this thing. I got their names right here. All right. Mm-hmm. One of the biggest things they focus on, Black Lives Matter. Of course, it's made up of homosexuals, lesbians, and transgenders. All right. So let's get that out the box right now. But the biggest thing that they play on is victimization. Why do you think that they use women for victimization? Why do you think that? Anybody want to take a crack at that? Why would this group? Why would the government use Black women as a face of victimization constantly? A lot of it is to do with emotions, because they know that these sisters carry a lot of weight when it comes to emotionalism. They know that these sisters have control. They know that these sisters are favored by the government. And call it Black Lives Matter. You know, you don't see this group when you see our brothers and sisters killing one another in the streets. The only time you hear about Black Lives Matter is something brutality or some kind of homosexual or transgenderism issue or discrimination or something like that. But it's all fallacy. It's all wicked. Mm. But yet they got this group out there trying to represent us, and they call it Black Lives Matter. And all that does is agitate. That's what it's for. All it does is agitate the true awakening. And this is why people don't take us serious. But the guy who's really behind the Black Lives Matter is, y'all know who he is, George Soros. He owns that. So why would it be efficient for all these heathens to hide behind our people, especially the women, to make it seem like, hey, it's not them, it's not white, they want to hide them. So this is how they disguise themselves. So why not put the Black woman out in the forefront? Get the face, but the real owners are these heathens. I mean, if we can't see that, we're deceived like never before. All right. You got to understand, Joshua, that this war is against the Israelite man, because the Israelite man, that is the strong man that was bound. And in order to take down the Most High's chosen vessel to speak his word, they always have to use our own people to do it. And throughout history, they've always done that. Any kind of time we started to rise up, they used our own people. And now they found a really secure way to weaponize the so-called Black woman against the man. And again, we're going to show you ways that the Black women have been weaponized. And a lot of our people don't even know it. You don't even see it. First off, just look at the stats, and you can look up the several sources. When you have a marriage rate that's damn nearly almost 17% now, probably less than that, in the so-called Israelite community, versus it being 98% in the 50s and prior to that, you got to ask yourself the question: what were some of the tactics that were used in this to bring the marriage rate down to such a low level? All right. When you have 77.6% of Black Israelite babies born to unwed mothers versus a much way lower rate, like not even 9% back in the 50s that was born to unwed mothers. How do we go from less than 10% down up to 77.6% of Israelite babies born to unwed mothers? How do we this is what I'm talking about, Yasharal. This is when I say that the Black woman has been weaponized. They have been successfully weaponized by our enemies, and a lot of them don't even know it. They don't even realize it because they think they're winning. But you can't win in wickedness. You can't. You can't say you're winning and you got 3 kids by 2 different dudes, and you talking about you don't need no man. I'm a strong black independent. You ain't winning. Now I know that some of you are not gonna like this. It's gonna be a hard pill to swallow, but the truth has to come out.
All right. Just to piggyback on what Brother Daniel's saying, dealing with these Black Lives Matter situations, we got to realize, right, from the very beginning that it's just not the sisters, right? It's not just the sisters, but all nations of women. They're that's their. The Most High has made them easily, made them followers, right? All women are followers. They're, women don't have leadership. That's not what they're here for, right? They're not here to lead anyone. That's just what the scriptures say, right?
Exactly.
So the Most High has created women for the leadership. For the following role, right? To be a helpmeet, which means that whatever your man wants to do, you're going to help him with that. As it's no such thing as doing your own thing and being a boss babe and going out there, going to get a career, and then being a man, he's secondary, right? That's not how the Most High works, right? Even if you read in the scriptures, you go to Peter, they tell you that, even for you to really be saved, right? It says you're saved through childbirth, right? You know what I'm saying? When 2 shall become 1, right? How do you consecrate marriage? It's through sex, right? And then what is sex? The main avenue for sex is what? For children. That's how the 2 become 1, because you're supposed to have a child, right? So these are the basic staples that are in the scriptures that describe the roles, right, of each individual gender, right? Male and female, right? Or each individual sex, I should say, right? Because the word gender is something that's, it's a new word that's, relatively new here on the earth. So we're just going to keep it to sex, man and woman, right? So what we've seen is that under our captivity, right, even though these sisters here in the picture that Brother Daniel's got up, right, they all have all natural hair, which is great, right? And see, that's the trick. We have people that are behind the scenes that are telling you what to do to put up these looks and stuff like that, to go in there. But even though they have all natural, every single one of them is wicked and going straight to the lake of fire unless they repent. All right. All Black Lives Matter. What was it started with? Right. In the back of the head, if it started with homosexuality, this is a organization that began in wickedness. And just how Brother Daniel had showed you earlier, right, when he pulled up the pull up the picture of that George Soros, right? This is the so-called master. He's behind the scenes controlling these black women. Why? Because no matter where you go at, right, a black woman is always, right, and the brothers too, right? A lot of us, right, it's the heathens going to be leading the situation. Right now, as we see here in America, right, that we know that they have a hard time containing the brothers, right? So they got to kill us, they got to shoot us, they got to kill us, they got to, they got to damage our home. They try to do everything that they can, right? Because they know that systematically throughout history, right, most slaves, if you have slaves, I don't know if y'all have watched this. Well, I'll talk about that later, right? But slaves are never stronger than the oppressors unless you're Israel, right? Because we have the Most High God on our side. So at any given time, when we decide to come back to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God, it doesn't matter if it's 10 of us or 10,000 of us, right? We're going to be able to overcome the heathen, right, with the power of the Most High God. But the situation is that now, if you even go back into the scriptures, you'll see that the daughters of Zion, they've always been haughty, right? Now, I'm not saying that this is a bad thing, but I'm saying that this is the only captivity that we have all of a sudden become in, and now they have become worse than the oppressors, right? They have taken charge and taken up arms, right? Linking arms in arms with the so-called white man, to the point that they don't even wear their own hair to the same. Like most sisters, right, that you see out there, they got wigs on, they got a straightening comb, right? Instead of letting their hair grow to the sky like the Most High, like the Most High's hair, right? We have an enemy in our own home, and that is a problem, Israel.
It's interesting because when you brought out a really interesting point. You go back to slavery, and most of y'all heard of the Willie Lynch letter. In that letter, he wrote out a plan. Now we're talking about the master's pet. So he wrote out a plan in order to break the Israelite slave. All right. And one of those tactics was to emasculate the man in front of the woman so that the woman can lose trust in the man. All right. There was all kinds of ways that they did. Of course, if they ran off, they would cut off their testicles or their foot, what have you. All right. Any way that they can do to scare the Israelite man so that he won't try to escape again, even if it meant embarrassing him in front of his woman. All right. But now the heathens, see, these guys, these people are very crafty, because what they do is they'll sit back, right? They'll plan out for the next 200 years. Did y'all know that? These people plan for hundreds of years. They don't just sit down and plan for like 3 days out like we do. Our people don't even see 5 feet in front of their face. But these people, they sit and they'll plan out for the next hundreds of years. All right. They know everything that we like. They know everything that we dislike. They know the types of foods we like, the types of alcohol we like, the types of cigarettes we like to smoke. You see what I'm getting at? And they sat down and they studied our mannerism. And one of the most genuine things that they've ever done was sit down and says, okay, these people are resilient. No matter what we do to them, they bounce back. But let's weaponize. And like Brother Eitan said, it's not just the black woman, but the reason why we're only focusing on our sisters, because those are Israelites. All right. We're not worried about the other nations of people. We can care less about them. But our people are the main focus now. And they sat down and said, let's find a way to weaponize the so-called Israelite sister. That has never, ever been done in the history, as we can remember, as long as this earth has been in existence. Did y'all know that? It's because they sat down in their think tanks and they thought of all the stuff that happened to us in the past. But they thought of one thing that has never been done. If you could use and weaponize the black woman against the black man, you can destroy a whole nation. Y'all know that saying that she who rocks the cradle controls the world? That's true in most aspects. Because if you look who are raising the black children these days, it's mostly women. All right. Where are all the men? What happened? Where did all the men go compared to the 50s? Where did all the breadwinners go? Now, the man didn't just wake up one morning and says, to hell with it, I'm leaving. You got to understand, Yasharel, there was a process that took place over a period of the decades that came out, that started with the women's liberation movement, started with continued with welfare, and then drugs and all kinds of stuff. Emasculation of the Israelite man, and slowly putting a woman in the place of the man, and incentivizing, the black woman for divorcing the black man. All right, because we know that the courts, when you look at the court systems and how they're set up, if whoever gets custody of the children, it's mostly the women. Now, there are some cases where the brother gets custody, but if we're talking collectively, majority of the women always get custody, unless they just strung out on drugs or something like that, or something so severe that they have no other choice but to get the kids to the man. But normally, collectively, it's always in favor of the woman. So these heathens have put in place incentives for our sisters, and they don't even realize it because they're falling right into this trap. And the heathens will take us and says, it's the men, because look at them, they're all in jail. It's their fault. You see how slick they are with their tactics? So you can't come out and say, oh, well, you gotta blame the men. You gotta blame the men because it's their fault, because they're committing the crimes. When the real weaponization is right before your very eyes, and with no accountability.
That's right.
Yep.
If you read here in Deuteronomy 28, right, it says, the tender and delicate woman among you, which would not venture to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, her eyes shall be evil toward the husband of his bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter. Now, I don't want you to pay attention to the last part because we know we're dealing with the curses, right? I want you to pay attention on the first part. It says, the tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, right? These are women without jobs, right? These are highly sought women, right? You don't see these women. I'm like, if you go into the scriptures and you look at the work that sisters actually did, right? You would go and you'll see it's work for the church, right? It'll be working for the church up under some elder, right, of their own people, period. They don't work for the heathens, ever. What job did Mary have? Right? What job did Sarah have? Right? Look at all the women that are chosen by the Most High God, right? And you look over there, right? They went from their father's house to their husband's house, right? They didn't go out here and try to, in the corporate world, working for the white man. Talking about something, I'm not going to get married until I'm 30 because I'm going to give my life to the slave master. Then you come out, you know, thinking that that your success is some kind of accolade, and that you're going to come, and because now you're old enough where you have developed your own set of ways and your own thinking of this, that, and the third, right? This is not going to be congruent to a man who is a born leader. A man is a born leader. Every man is a born leader of his household. That's what the scriptures, right? It says the man is the head of the household in every situation. So if you have these false doctrines that these heathens are teaching, to telling you that, hey man, you know, it's okay for a woman to run a household. Where's that in the scriptures? Right? You got to realize that this right here is a plot, a ploy, a scam of the devil, of Satan, right? Of Beelzebub, of other devils that are out there working with Satan, right? What they're doing, they're hopping on the sisters, giving them this false air of self-security. That's why when you look back in Isaiah chapter 4, if you read the whole thing, it talks about single women. Why do you think that he even talks about women that'll have their own food and their own bread and their own clothes, and you don't have to provide nothing for us? Just take off the stigma of us not being married, right? Why do you think it says that? The Most High, he's seeing this stuff. This stuff is already seen to be true. So Brother Daniel and myself, we come on here each and every week because we want to try to witness to the folks that will maybe listen, right? Because it says that, you know, it goes on down and says that the Most High is going to purge, right? The daughters of Zion, he's going to clean them up with the spirit of burning, right? And judgment. So that means you're going to get destroyed, right? These single women out here, it doesn't never say that the righteous brothers in Isaiah chapter 4 is going to take the the independent women. Why would you, if you're righteous? Where in the scriptures does it tell you to marry a woman that has more than one body? Never. It don't tell you that. It tell you to get virgins. That's what the scriptures say. The scriptures don't tell you to marry whores, right? And anyone that says that old boy had married Gomer, right? The prophet that married Gomer, and it's talking about but it was talking about Israel was the land of whoredoms in Isaiah, right? It doesn't. It's not talking about him actually marrying a whore, right? So because I know some people, they might get that misconstrued with the truth, right? Never in the scripture do you see men marrying whores. Never. Women with their own jobs. Hey, the 4 matriarchs of Israel, right? Leah, Rachel, Bilhah, and Zilpah. What were their jobs? What were their jobs? They're in their father's house. They might have been, tending the field, maybe doing this and the third, but right, their job was to do what? Become virgins, stay virgins. For who? For Jacob, the chosen one. Right? Never ever do you see. And then what did Jacob do? Right? Did they ever question Jacob? No, Jacob, he led all 4 wives and his children to where they were. Right? That was his job. He was the leader. Every single situation that we see throughout the scriptures, right? We see that men in the leadership, and then the women, they don't work for the heathen. Can anyone show me a scripture where the daughters of Zion was working for heathens?
You're not going to find it.
You're not going to find it. You're going to find brothers. Yeah, because we've been under captivity, but you don't see that in the scriptures where the daughters of Zion talking about some, we're gonna get married when we're older, and we're gonna work for the heathen and come up in the white man's land, or come up in the Moab's land, or come up in any other land. You don't see that. It's not in there. Nowhere. All right. So it's sad that we have to come up with these. It's sad that we even have to teach lessons like this. Right. That now we have a lot of our sisters they have put in power, which is what are they doing, right? These sisters that they put in power, if you notice, right, most of them, right, 9 times out of 10, they're going to have the same hair as the oppressor, with the same rules the oppressor. So they figure that, let's step back for a little while, right? Let us as the white man, right, or whatever heathen it is, let us step back for a second. Let us propagate and use, right, the black woman, the black Israelite woman, to bring down her own people. Let's teach her that, it's okay to have many men as you want to. Let's teach her that you don't have to be sexually disciplined. Let's teach her that it's okay for you to buck up against the man, right? It's okay for you to come and work for us and then choose the heathen over your own people.
Mm-hmm. Hey, brother, let me interject in that one right quick, because you brought out a powerful point, man. And there's a scripture that goes along exactly what you're saying. I didn't want to get off the point there. So look, y'all. What Brother Eitan is saying, that these heathens have turned our women. Not only have they been weaponized, but they are turning our women into harlots. Ecclesiastes 26:22 says, "A harlot shall be accounted as spittle." And I really want y'all to think about it. Now, our enemies spend millions, billions of dollars of thinking of ways that they can destroy us. And if they can incentivize the black woman, get them to be single-minded, forget about a man, have as many babies as you want to, what do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to be the end result? You turning sisters into harlots through their actions. A harlot, because the heathens know the scriptures better than we do. And they know that one thing that this discusses the Most High the most is a harlot. A harlot shall be accounted as spittle, but a married woman is a tower against death to her man. What was brought out earlier when Brother Eitan mentioned Isaiah 4:1. All right, but the time is going to come where these sisters are going to be begging to have this reproach taken off of them. All right, this wickedness. It says a wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man, but a righteous woman is given to him that fears YESHA'YAHU. This is what we don't see, because we're dealing with a lot of extremely proud, incentivized, weaponized women. All right, go ahead, brother. I didn't want to. You brought that out. I wanted to bring this point out.
All praises, right? So, before I get into this particular thing, right, I wanted to also bring out something else. I also wanted to bring something else out, right? For example, right, I'm saying, and this is going to be like, I want y'all to think about this, right? Y'all know we have these recently here. We've had as you know, our numbers have been dropping, right? Well, I'll say how numbers have been dropping, but our numbers have not been increasing. Right, ever since slavery, we basically stayed the damn same, same amount of people. Right. The reason went right because what happened? We had Fannie Mae and all these other so-called white folks, right, convinced the sisters, let's have abortions. They kill a third of the population. To the point now we got these these Mexicans and these Hispanics. They're into our country. They're more than us now.
Now, Fannie Mae is that DA, right? She's that DA.
No. That's Fannie Willis, right?
Okay.
Kind. So yeah, I'm gonna go over her in a minute too, because that's going to lead me up what I'm talking about. But right, if you see from the past, right, that since our numbers have been dropping, right, and since their numbers have been raising, what's that going to do to the black vote? Not that we should be voting in the first place, right? But we automatically see that the rise of Hispanic people in this so-called country, right, it's going to lessen our ability to vote and to get anything that our other people that don't know any better, that they vote. Anything that we got right now, it's just going to start going to the Hispanics. Why do you think that these heathens have started teaching you Spanish in school? Right, this is a plan, like Brother Daniel was saying earlier, that these heathens, they start 30 years into the 25 years, right? They make plans for 25 years into the future. Why do you think they started this all of a sudden teaching you Spanish all of a sudden in school? What? That's because they knew that they was going to flood these places, right, with these heathens to try to outnumber, because there's got to be a way that you could stop the children of Israel from coming up, right? So they're going to flood this, you know what I'm saying, flood the area with these so-called heathens, right? You got this clown that's in office right now, creepy racist Joe Biden, right? And he's supposed, as you see, he's an invalid, and all of a sudden they're acting like he don't know what's going on, and millions of these folks are getting into the country.
And the scary part is this is just the beginning. You're talking about all these. We've never had an influx of these immigrants coming in like never before. They've been coming in the past, but nothing like this. This stuff has been planned out, y'all, right before our very face.
All right. I wanted to watch you something. You're saying now this is just because she's kind of so I'm gonna deal with a couple of women in power. And I know Brother Daniel has some things like that too. So we're gonna deal with the Atlanta DA, right? The Georgia DA. This woman's name is Fannie Willis, right? As you can see from the picture that I have on here, right? Like I said, she does what? She looks like the oppressor by having the what? That's not her real hair, right? Well, even if it is her real hair doesn't grow like that naturally, right? So she's trying to look like a so-called white woman, right? And we know that all these heathens here, besides Israel or so-called Hamites, that Israel and Hamites are like we have the same hair like the Most Highs, right? The rest of these nations, they have hairs like animals, so so to speak, right? The straight, long, the stringy stuff, right? So let's go down and let's read about this woman and why this woman is a threat to our people, right? Now it says, I'm not interested in the details of her affair. Willis has a bigger problem that's not maybe that she might not even appreciate. She has broadly applied the state's RICO law to questionable cases, including the prosecution of public school teachers, right? And currently the prosecution of a Grammy Award-winning rap artist. Now, the reason why I wanted to pull that up is because let me see. Hold on. All right. Here it is. Right. It says Willis' case against Trump and company may be one where serious political malfeasance crossing state line warrants a RICO charge under a broad interpretation of a statute. But to use this law to prosecute public school teachers appears to be a clear case of prosecutorial overreach. Now, when I show you the faces and the nation of the school teachers that this woman had went after, it's not the white folks. It's her own people.
Yep.
That's why we got to get these nigger women out of positions of power. Right? They're not going to do nothing but continue to drive us in the ground. We can see over history, they've killed 20 million of us. 20 million Israelite children, and the number continues to grow. Right? They've killed us to the point so far that we have not made we have not made any growth in our in our appearance. And this is also true due to the curses, right? But this is also true due to wickedness. It says Congress intended the Federal RICO Act to apply to criminal enterprises that infiltrate legitimate businesses and use interstate commerce. Like other states' RICO laws, Georgia's is modeled on the federal statute and its relevance to prosecuting local school teachers, street gangs, and certainly rap artists is novel at best. More troubling is that 86% of street gangs have been prosecuted under the Federal RICO Act are affiliated with one or more racial minority groups, right? So we know that the federal government, they have a system, right? The RICO system, which is pretty much just like if you're even having a phone call talking about drugs, or you can't, you might not even get caught with nothing. You just might have been in the general vicinity of the area, right? You're gonna get locked up with the rest of them and you're gonna get 20 years too. You're gonna get 20 years too. That's just how it works, right? So this woman here, right, and then once we a lot of our people, the reason why we get into office, the men, right, they try to run for these things even though they're ignorant of the law, statutes, and commandments. They try to get into these positions to try to look out for our people who are disenfranchised, right? Brother, you want to add something before I continue on with this?
No, when you get done with that article, I got an article too, so go ahead, brother.
Okay, con, right? So it says in 2013, Willis, right, and then her then boss, District Attorney Paul Howard, right? Now, Paul Howard, this guy's a white dude, you know what I'm saying? Of course, brought RICO charges against Atlantic Public School Superintendent Beverly Hall and 34 other teachers and administrators, right? all but one of them African American, in testing cheating scandal that stemmed from an investigation launched by then Governor Sonny Perdue and led by a former state attorney general, Michael Bowers. All these are heathens, right? Bowers released a scathing report that alleged widespread cheating on standardized tests has been going on for years. He looked at no other school systems except Atlanta's. Now, I will, I don't know if I have time, but I'll show you that this is going on countrywide, right? But we know that the cities that the so-called blacks, well, real Israelites have the most power, right? Or, you know, cities like Atlanta, right? So what these heathens do in the RICO charge, they decided to look at where the so-called black people were, right? With the help of the master's pet, right? So there's no comparative data on whether no alleged cheating were worse, similar, or bad as other systems. But I want to show you this real quick, right, Israel? I want to show you the picture, right? I want to show you the picture of the people that she got. All right, this is, I mean, Israel, it's horrible, right? Let's take a look at it. Boom. Let me see if I can blow this up for y'all. All right, boom. Right, you see all these people, APS cheating arrest, none but Israel. It looks like a Moabite in the top left, but this is nothing but Israel. All these folks are Israel. She going against her own people, right? Just like, imagine if you had a super coon and they decided to try to get you all locked up. All of these folks, right? Hey, man, I'm gonna go. You know what I'm saying? You going to jail.
They're paid agents, and that's the thing. You know, they get involved with that stuff. They don't even realize that they have become the master's pet, because the white man can use and set up. And if you notice that they're hiring more and more, black district attorneys. There's a reason behind that, Israel. You got to follow the money. You got to look at the big picture and see the whole reasoning behind that. And now it may seem like, oh, wow, we're getting more black women into that field. Maybe they can help their own people. That's not why the heathens hire our people and put our people in positions like that. To help our people. They put them in positions like that so that the heathens can hide behind these women, and so that they can continue to lock our people up.
Now, this is the judge that Family Willis has sent him to. You see this guy right here, the so-called white man.
Yep.
Right, look at this dude. He just looks like he got a whip. He got a whip somewhere. You know, he just ready to hit some Israelites. Right, look at this guy. Right, who does he think he is? What are you trying to do? Raise up the dead? So this is one of many. And then we see right now that the Most High is taking her down, right? All praises to the Most High. Caught her for lying. And not only one, this woman is an adulteress, right? Fannie Willis was married and she divorced her husband, right? And shortly after she divorced her husband, right, she started having an affair with this one. She started having a relationship with that one dude that we know that's all over the news now, whatever his name is, right? The other brother, right? That's what we got going on now, right? So we have an adulterer that left her husband, right, became the DA, started sleeping with other men, right? And then I know y'all had to see the interview where she was talking about a man is not a plan. A man is or you know what I'm saying, just some city girl BS, which is exactly why she don't have a ring on her finger. If she don't repent, she going to the lake of fire, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, these are the things that these heathens are trying to raise these people up. This is why they get so much attention, right, and stuff like that, because they want other sisters to see this. I mean, like, you know, when she was on the stand and she was acting like she was acting, which is 100% wicked, right? Just yelling and just acting extremely masculine, right? Sisters worldwide was congratulating how she was acting. This is an adulterous woman, Israel. Why are our people chosen heroes as prostitutes, right? We don't need we don't need whores as heroes. Israel, they choose whores as heroes, just the same way, right, that they wanted to doggone choose Barabbas over Hamashiach. They would rather let a murderer go than let the innocent Hamashiach go. It's the same situation that we got right now, Israel. Right? Our people, we love the wicked and we hate the righteous. Go ahead, brother.
And Yasharel, this thing is much deeper, and it's so interwoven than we can possibly imagine. All right, I'm going to read this article to you, but before I get into it, I want to just we got to go back and understand how the Constitution was written. All right, when the Constitution was written by the so-called they call them the heathens forefathers that came over here. All right, when they wrote the Constitution was not written with Israelites in mind, because you got to understand we were property at that time, and pretty much still is to a certain aspect. All right, so one of them, you look at the 13th Amendment, all right, which talks about no one should be enslaved unless it be of a crime or something else. See, you got to understand how the language of the heathens and how they talk. They use ambiguous words like those other people. They don't necessarily come out and say, Israelites or black people. They'll just say those other people. So you got to understand the language in the Constitution when you're looking at the laws. And this is why when you have our people that's going into law, this is the first thing that they should understand, but they don't. All right. This is why our people, when they go to these district attorneys or when they go to the laws to try to get help, the court systems cannot help our people. Why? Because the court systems was never designed to help our people in the first place. So that's the first thing you have to understand.
I got one more thing before you bring that out, if you don't mind dealing with that same thing, because I want to deal with the sisters of Consul. Yeah, Khan, right? Sis, it says a man is an option, is what they say. Now, I want to show you something, right? I got one more scripture I want to pull up for you, Israel. And, I think I've already pulled this up earlier. Well, I'm not sure, right? But it says, now, if a man is an option, right? No, a man is a necessity for any woman to even get the kingdom. It says that what? Unless you're a virgin. It says, notwithstanding, she shall be saved in childbearing, if they continue in faith, charity, and holiness with sobriety. What is that? How do you bear a child? You have to have a man. That's the bottom line.
Yep.
Right? That is the absolute bottom line. So you listen to these clown women that's talking about this other stuff that's working for the white man. Of course, they're going to be deluded and full of the devil. Right? Unclean spirits, and their mind is going to be destitute of wisdom. Brother Daniel?
Yep. All right. So, and when dealing with these court systems and the Constitution, you understand that stuff is not written for us. And so it would make it easier for them to get these sisters. Now, there's been some sisters who stood up and realized, oh man, they were working, they had become the master's pet. One of them was a lady named, I think she was a district attorney by the name of Bell Hooks. She wrote a couple of books, and she got out of that stuff because she realized, dang, we were being used against our own men this whole time. But let me read this little article to you. All right, it says a record number of women of color, we're talking about our people, of course, have been elected to district attorneys positions in the past 4 years. In 2014, a woman donor network study found that 95% of elected prosecutors were white, with 79% of them being white men. Since that study was released, African American women have been elected as district attorneys in major metropolitan cities like, get this, Orlando, St. Louis, Chicago, Boston, and New York. Now, I want you to understand where is the most of our people, concentrated at in these areas.
That's right, brother.
Think about it. I want you to really think about that for a minute. These people, they know that they know that our majority of our people are so stupid, they're not going to catch on to this. They can hire black district attorneys right before your very eyes, and you don't even know what's going on. You think that's a good thing. You think that, oh man, yeah, look at this. We got the sisters now representing. No, them sisters are in there to lock your ass up.
Con.
For the most part. All right. Unless they all of a sudden see how the system is and they can come out of that, like Bell Hooks did. But for the most part, they don't see it because they're falling right into the trap of the master's pet. This thing is serious. And like I said before, every time, if you want to destroy the Israelite nation, use a black woman to do it. And this is what they've been doing, y'all. And this is what we're trying to really put out. All right, it's not being negative. It's just telling you the truth. It's telling you the full truth and how it is. Yes, our sisters, unfortunately, have been weaponized, whether you want to believe it or not.
Right.
And so you have to. And so in the end, we're going to show you how to break free from that, because you're going to totally have to unplug yourselves from this system. You're going to have to completely go against the grain of your slave masters. All right, you're gonna have to unlearn all that stuff, and it's gonna be hard for a lot of sisters.
This
The only way we're gonna turn this, the only way that we're gonna turn this thing around is it's gonna take a lot. I just, it's gonna take the power of the Almighty, and if this thing doesn't turn around soon, it's over. It's just over. We're gonna see more of our people locked up. We're gonna see the percentage of babies being born to unwed mothers even increase damn nearly almost to 100%. I mean, it's at 77% right now, y'all. That's over half. That's over half. The population, what is the population of the so-called Israelite in America? We just talking about America alone. We're talking
40
about
million.
40 million?
40 million.
Man, 70. So you saying 77% of Israelite babies being born are born to unwed mothers? Damn.
You know what, Israel too?
That's crazy.
To add what Brother Daniel was saying, all right, let's just think about art. You know, when you see a just because it's profitable, right, does not mean that you should do it, right? Just because, like, let's say for example, if you see somebody walking down the street and let's say you got bills due, right? You got some bills due or whatnot, and all of a sudden you walking down the street and then you see somebody, they drop $500 out their pocket. Oh, right. The right thing to do is pick up the $500 and give it back to the person, right? But then a lot of our people, instead of doing that, they'll take the $500, they'll mislead themselves into thinking that this is a gift from God and take it for themselves and pay their bills or whatever they need with that money, right? This is the exact same situation is that these women, they might have the ability, right? The Most High might, you might have the ability to take this position because the white man has offered it to you, right? But then when you look at the Most High and what He has written and says, that's just like you taking the money that don't belong to you, right? And putting it in your pocket when you shouldn't. You should just say, "Oh, thank you for the opportunity, but no, sir, my God says I can't do that," right? That's just the bottom line of what it's supposed to be. All right, Aksalak.
No, good point, y'all. And even with that being said, how do we break free, or how does this, okay, sister may ask, well, okay, I agree. I see how our women have been weaponized. How can these sisters break from that spell? Well, we already know the scripture answer is to keep the commandments. That's the obvious thing. But the biggest thing is pride right now. All right. The pride is so thick with these sisters that have been weaponized that it's going to take them to fall flat on their backs. In other words, it's going to take something so severe that's going to happen. That's why I truly believe that the Most High is going to be the main one that's going to turn a lot of these sisters around. And for the most part, it's not going to be because they want to be turned around. It's going to be by force. And it's not going to be pleasant. It's not going to feel good at all. And once they see it, they're going to realize the horror that they've been a part of and how they have become the master's pet. All right. I mean, it couldn't have been a better title than this, the master's pet, because again, this tactic has never ever been done in the history of our people. And I would say this is by far the most tactic maneuver that the heathens have ever made, is to weaponize the so-called black woman.
And they're weaponizing them to a rate that is unheard of, like Brother Daniel just said.
Man, a level that is unprecedented. And they've done it, and they've done it so smoothly they've done it so smoothly, it makes it seem like that they're winning.
They're using them for every top facet of wickedness to try to push. They get the women to do it, right? They get the sisters to do it, right? You don't see brothers out here lobbying for homosexuality, right? Out here, being at the Senate House, right? Being in these Congress meetings, lobbying for homosexuality. You don't see that.
That's right.
Right. Let me show you. If Brother Dane doesn't have anything else to say.
No, go ahead, brother. I do, but go ahead. All
right, Con, I want to show you this next video right here, right? And I know a lot of you have seen this before, right? But this is something. This is a proof, right? This is something else. How they this isn't a brother that put the sister up there. You know what I'm saying? Up to this. Got this woman wilding out. Got all kind of septum piercings. Just looks crazy, right? Israel just up there looking crazy and just making our people just look stupid, right? And this is why we have so much hate on the earth, right? People thinking of us because one, we're letting our women rule and run the situation. Every time you look up, you got nasty nigga women twerking, right? Showing your nasty butt cheeks, doing all this kind of stuff that's just wicked. And then what? It comes back on to the brothers. Then you got single mothers raising up nigglets that are in the stores, stealing, robbing, killing their own people, right? It's just a problem, Israel. They're just a problem, all right? So let's get with this.
You've referred to people with a capacity for pregnancy. Would that be women?
Many women, cis women, have the capacity for pregnancy. Many cis women do not have the capacity for pregnancy. There are also trans men who are capable of pregnancy, as well as non-binary people who are capable of pregnancy.
So this isn't really a women's rights issue.
We can recognize that this impacts women while also recognizing that it impacts other groups. Those things are not mutually exclusive, Senator Hawley.
Oh, so your view is that the core of this right then is about what?
So I want to recognize that your line of questioning is transphobic, and it opens up.
Okay, now before I continue on, I want y'all to look in this audience. Who do you see? Right, about 98% heathens in this audience right here. This is 98%, right? 98% heathens here at the Senate meeting, right? And then look, all these heathens out there, and then the only one of our color, right? One of us that are up there that's talking. Right here in this little area right here, right? It's one of our people, a woman most or less, and she's talking nothing but stupidity, foolishness, folly.
Totally against the Torah.
And then she don't even make sense. Who put her up to this?
And it's crazy because she's sitting up there talking, trying to use words, and she actually thinks she sounds intelligent when she really sounds like a dumbass.
Let's finish it.
Yep.
Of trans people to violence by not recognizing that.
Wow, you're saying that I'm opening up people to violence by asking whether or not women are the folks who can have pregnancies?
So I want to note that 1 out of 5 transgender persons have attempted suicide.
Kiara Bridges, a UC Berkeley law professor. Who the hell gave this woman a job? Who gave this woman a job? You gotta understand, Israel, right? These heathen have a plan, and the plan is for us to stay in the captivity and for us to never come back to the Most High God. And this
is a prime example of a weaponized woman right here. Prime example.
This is the master's pet.
Aside. So I think it's important
because of my line of questioning. So we can't talk about it
because denying that trans people exist and pretending not to know that they exist.
I'm denying that trans people exist by asking you if you're talking about women having pregnancies.
Do you believe that men can get pregnant?
No, I don't think women can get pregnant.
So you are denying that trans people exist,
and that leads to violence. Is this how you run your classroom or students?
Are you serious? What?
He made her look stupid, and she's sitting there still trying to justify it.
Look, just Israel. Like, look at those eyes right there, right? Any man in the Israelite community. Well, I say not any man, but I say the majority of us, we know good and well. You wouldn't put that clown up there representing you or representing our people. You up there representing our people on a position of wickedness where the Most High God says, "Let the blood be upon them," and you will immediately get put to death for this sin. You up there lobbying for this wickedness, and you don't know what a woman is, right? This is a problem, Israel.
Students allowed to question you,
Absolutely.
Or are they also treated like this, where
they're
told that they're opening up people to violence?
We have a good time in my class. You should join.
I bet.
You might learn a lot.
Wow, I would learn a lot. I've learned a lot just in this exchange.
Absolutely.
Extraordinary.
A fool, Israel.
Yeah, I know. It's see, and it's stuff like that, that just blows your mind, and you see these types of sisters doing it, and it's not just her. There's a bunch of them, and again, when you see our sisters in that position, it's always them trying to lobby for some wickedness.
Con. I got another one that's gonna go right in with the same topic, right? Hey, hold up, brother Dan, you got anything you want to bring out before I bring this one out?
No, go ahead. I'll comment after this one.
Con, all praises. All right, Israel, right? This is another one. Now, what this is, understand, right? For some reason, right, on the Supreme Court of the United States, all of a sudden they got a doggone woman up there, right? And it's a sister, no less. Right? And the sister that they decided to choose, right, went through affirmative action to get her degree and all kinds of stuff. Wasn't even really qualified for this situation, right? Got in through all of this stuff they did, this special privilege program or whatnot, right? Now that you're really on your own merits. Right, so they got this sister in there. This sister's so stupid, she don't even know what a woman is. I want you to really pay attention. And this woman is a Supreme Court judge, right? The face of black women, right? You know what I'm saying? Partially the face of black women. And this is what they look at in our society when they look at us.
Can you provide a definition for the word woman?
Can I provide a definition? No,
Yeah.
I can't.
How can you hold on? Wait, hold on, man.
Not in
Okay.
this context.
How can she not provide a definition for a woman if she's a woman, right? That's an XX chromosome. What the world? What, say? What's wrong with you? A woman is a XX chromosome, right? You have breast and vagina, and you're able to produce babies, ovaries and a womb. That's a woman, right? It's simple. You know what I'm saying? God made them two, man and woman. All right, let's go.
Not in
Okay.
this context.
So you
I'm not a
believe the
biologist.
meaning of the word woman is so unclear and controversial that you can't give me a definition?
Senator, in my work as a judge, what I do is I address disputes. If there's a dispute about a definition, people make arguments, and I look at the
All right.
law and I decide. So I'm not.
The fact that you can't give me a straight answer about something as fundamental as what a woman is underscores the dangers of the kind of progressive education that we are hearing about.
Facts.
She's supposed to be a judge.
She is a Supreme Court judge.
Yeah, she's a judge, man. That right there tells you got a woman like that that's leading Supreme Court judge. That's dangerous.
Now, these are all
That's
women of
dangerous.
power, right? I'm just showing you, Israel, that, and you wonder why we got a problem, right? And you wonder why people look at us like we crazy. Wonder why niggas don't never get nothing. And wonder why they even call us niggas, right? This is why, Israel. This is why we got problems all the time with the situations. And guess what? Hey, ain't no brother gonna check her. Oh, all of a sudden you insecure and you don't know what's going on. You don't want to see him shine. No, you know the law, statutes, and commandments. You ain't supposed to be up there. You ain't supposed to be running your mouth, right? You aren't supposed to be running your mouth at all because the scriptures already tell you why, right? Why women are not supposed to be leading, right?
The master's pet, and y'all can see the tactics that our enemies have been using. What do you think? You get a bunch of women, especially sisters, to run stuff, but they're not really running things. All they're doing is being a face for the master's pet. That's it. The masters are the ones who are controlling and pulling the string. It's like they're sitting behind an invisible screen you cannot see. All you see is the sister lobbying for wickedness, but then you see the puppet master, you see the master just dangling the strings. That's right, black woman. Do it. Say this. I want you to say it this. I want you to say it like that. Just in the background, controlling everything. No difference from slavery, man. But they just use their own people to what would you call it? The house Negro, or the one who would do the whipping and everything if the so-called Israelites got out of line. But see, the slave master had to pick somebody he could trust, somebody he knew that wouldn't turn on him.
That's right.
And see, the master's pet, they know that these sisters lobbying for wickedness is not going to turn on their masters. That's why they use them.
Because they envy the oppressor. and choose his ways. So, right, should any woman be in a position of authority? No. It says, but I suffer not a woman to teach, nor usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. For Adam was first formed, then Eve, and Adam was not deceived. See, this is the reason why women are not supposed to be teachers. The reason why is because Adam was not deceived. You know, I'm pretty sure Adam could talk to all the animals in the garden. Hey, he named them all. He named them all.
Well,
He
get
the
this
master
though.
over all
Everything,
hold on.
everything was named.
Hold about, right? He was the master over all the animals in the garden, right? I'm sure they talked to Adam, right? And everything like that. He was never deceived. But the serpent in the garden, he looked at Eve and was like, you know what? I'm gonna try her. And she was easily deceived. This is why you're not supposed to be a leader, because your mind is not steady enough to lead. A leader requires a steady mind, a stoic mind that cannot break. Right? They can stay on the path of doing righteousness like Moses did, right? Like a lot of our brothers and sisters, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of righteous brothers and sisters have did throughout the scriptures, right? Especially the King David, right? Solomon, right? A lot of, you know what I'm saying, a couple, you know what I'm saying, they might have went off a little bit dealing with the women, but look what they went off with, dealing with women. That's the situation.
Everything was named. Everything was already done by the time the woman came on the scene. So what does that tell you? Who was dominion given? Who was dominion given to? Was dominion given to the woman, or was it given to the man? That right there alone should tell you who was in charge. It was never meant for the woman to be in charge. The woman was meant to be the helpmate, the garrison of the home. Because when the Most High created Adam, he created Adam first, and Adam named everything first. The woman had no part in naming anything. The woman was supposed to be there for Adam to be the helpmate. That was it.
That's right.
That was it. And this is why when we talk about the master's pet and you putting these sisters in places, no wonder everything is going hog wild crazy, because they were never meant to lead out in these kind of things. They were never meant to be in charge of their own people like that. This is why everything is so unbalanced. This is why everything is out of control. This is why you have a 77% rate of Israelite babies born to unwed mothers. This is why you have a high abortion rate. This is why you have sisters out there preaching in the pulpit, trying to break down scriptures, because everything is unbalanced. It's not the way that the Most High designed it to be. Go ahead, bro.
The master's pet. We got a lot of sisters that don't even realize that they're the master's pet, and that's even the worst thing, right? You might, you don't even understand that you're getting this stuff through social media or TikTok or, any of these other apps that they got out here. You know, you listen to these heathen women, right? These heathen dudes say, hey, you should go. And these sucker dudes that are out there like, yeah, man, I want me a accomplished woman, right? Or I want this, I want that. This is a ploy, Israel. This is a ploy to keep us where we're at, on the bottom.
And never before, like I said before, never before has this thing has been done. And by the time our people wake up and realize what's going on, it's going to already be too late, because the damage is irreversible. The Most High is going to, I would say, destruction is the only way, because you look at every year, the wickedness increases. It's like it almost increases twofold every year. I mean, it's ridiculous. Go ahead and bring that out.
Okay. Now this is another sister in power, right? Another woman in power that we have in Israel, right? Right. So we have another woman in power, right? Over our people, right? And then you know what they're doing? They're doing the same thing the white man is doing, right? Stealing money from the people, right? Making up fake stuff out there. I just want to, I think we're going to play a few minutes of this, right? I just want to see what's going on. I know y'all heard of this Tiffany Henyard, right? The mayor of Dalton, right?
Martin Unfiltered, I talked to the mayor of Dalton, Illinois, in an exclusive interview about a variety of allegations against her. She's got national.
Now, what's the first thing you see, Israel? It says, envy not the oppressor and choose none of their ways, but yet you got that dog wig on your head. That's already a problem. You sleeping with the enemy. You already know she's gonna do you wrong because she doesn't have enough common sense, confidence in herself to wear her own natural hair and be her own people. Instead, she's trying to be somebody else. On the news, thinking that that's how she looks the best because she's on a show. Imagine that, right? Imagine if you see brothers all of a sudden, right, with big old afros, and all of a sudden when they decide to go on the show, they want to slick it down. They want to start straightening they stuff up and start looking like the white man. You know what I'm saying? Put that little Superman curl in their hair. Right? You're not going to respect that brother. You're going to look at him like he a fool. Understand, Israel, this is the same way how brothers look at you. Right? When brothers look at sisters and they see you got wigs and all this other stuff in your hair, man, we look at you like you a fool. But a lot of brothers are, they don't want to go through the problems because a lot of them are wicked. They want to fornicate with them. So they're not going to say anything. They're not going to try to, rock the boat with how they look. So they're going to be okay with the raptor claws, the, the back wing eyelashes that she got on there and all that makeup, that Jezebel makeup and that wig she got on. Right. That's of the damn devil.
Attention. A lot of critics out there with regards to how she's operated as the mayor of Dalton as well as the supervisor of Thornton Township. One of the issues we talked about was this charity.
Slakia, unmarried, by the way. Keep that in mind. Unmarried. These women you see, Israel, that we gonna keep popping up, they unmarried women.
Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation. Here's what I first asked her about the foundation. You have a charity that from the Attorney General's office is, I understand they sent a cease and desist letter to your foundation.
I don't know nothing about that. I'm not crazy. I'm not
You have
deranged.
Tiffany Henyard Cares, your foundation. So the Attorney General's office hasn't reached out to you regarding your foundation?
So I want to set the record straight. I don't have a foundation. I am a supporter of anybody that's struggling with cancer. My mom had breast cancer, and I'm always push anybody that has that. If someone uses my name to push their charity, or if you say this is Tiffany t-shirt, people gonna buy it. Because right now, consider what? Clickbait. People make money off of my name by views. So you just say my name.
You say you don't have a foundation.
I do not. And that's why I tell everybody, go do your research. I'm not on anything.
Okay. I followed that up a little bit later in the interview with this. So I'd asked you before we went to the break. I talked about this charity and the Illinois Attorney General's office. This is from CBS affiliate there. Says that the accusation comes at the same time the Illinois Attorney General's office told Henyard's charity multiple times in recent months to stop improperly soliciting donations because it had not registered with the state as required by law. And you said that's not your charity. Okay. So were you ever? So show the video here. 'Cause I'm trying to understand this here. So this is a video of you marching with the charity. So what is this?
So what they're not telling you is we literally walked to Springfield to create a bill to help anybody that suffered from cancer, whether it's the village of Dalton, Thornton Township, and then I increased it.
Okay, hold up. Before we continue on, now remember, she said that was not her thing. She had nothing to do with it, and she claimed that somebody else had used her name to make an organization. Now the brother here, right, Roland Martin, what he does, he ends up going to the same organization that she said that she wasn't a part of. Now she's asking her, why are you marching with those same folks that you said that you didn't know nothing of and you had nothing to do with?
To the state of Illinois. And that bill will help people by giving them $10,000. And that's a bill that we actually are initiating, and we're still working on it. When I went through the Republican states, the Republican areas, we didn't have any issue. Everybody was on board because everybody is suffering from cancer or know someone that passed or is actually going through it. So that was the whole purpose of the walk, to basically bring awareness and bring people together. That's what the whole purpose of it is.
But if you had, so there were folks with signs saying Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation. Who was that?
What do you mean? It's everybody. Everybody was there.
No. What I'm saying is, what is the Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation? You said it's not affiliated with you at all.
Correct.
Well, what is it?
So someone made up a foundation. They named it after me, and they like my work that I do in the community, and it's called Tiffany Henyard Cares. So we all went.
But they weren't registered. Have you contacted them and told them you can't use my name improperly?
Well, my lawyer's handling a lot of that stuff, so all I can tell you is that I'm not the one on anything. That's the only thing I can tell you right now. So I'm just trying to answer to the.
So you're saying there's a foundation that's not registered, but it has nothing to do with you.
Correct. That's true.
Okay.
That's
So you're
true.
not aware of any of the work that they've done, money that they've raised, anything along those lines.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. So she said in the interview that the foundation was not hers. This is from a council meeting.
I'm doing, and I'm really, really big on as different.
Sorry, Salaki, I want y'all to notice something. You see him, he's married, right? The woman he's talking about is unmarried.
A council meeting.
I'm doing, and I'm really, really big on as dear to my heart, is I'm real big on a cancer foundation. I have created Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation.
Okay.
I'm really,
You heard
really
that?
big on as dear to my heart, is I'm real big on a cancer foundation. I have created Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation.
So she just lied. First she said that she didn't commit it. Now she's saying first she said she had nothing to do with it. Somebody else made up her put her name on there. But now she's saying that she's the one that created it, right? Now, when you see that when she created this fund that is only available in the black neighborhoods, is what she's scamming our people, taking our people's money, right? Because she knows better than to do that in the white neighborhoods because they're gonna lock her behind up. So she's scamming her own people. Hold on, right? I just got like 2 more seconds in this, and then we'll break it down for discussion.
And what that entails is helping everybody within the 17 municipalities with services, such as well services and resources, such as if you need help paying for chemo, radiation, your medicine, your wigs, your prosthetic, your breasts, things of that nature, even helping you in housing. Because I know firsthand how that feels to just not have help. When my mom had breast cancer. So I want to make sure that I put that out there to the public and to everybody, that it goes to any 17 municipality. You cannot live in Chicago to benefit from this foundation. It's strictly for people that live in the 17 communities. We are doing a cancer walk October 4th, and now this room was filled.
You said on the 17 communities, right? That's the black community, right? Those people that are in those particular communities that you're looking at.
To benefit from this foundation is strictly for people that live in the 17 communities.
Right, 17 communities is the black community. All right.
October 4th, and now this room was filled. I will hope you guys will come out for that cause. We will start right at Food for Less parking lot. We will walk west, going across the Unity Bridge, and we will walk 15 miles. So anybody that's up for the challenge or that feel they can make it, please show up. You can walk, ride, or drive. And yes, we got bikes. We have motorcycle clubs. We have all kinds of people that is joining us in this movement because you never know when you need this resource as well. So always be about the cause. Last but not least, even though I know we got another meeting, the kids' Halloween dance party will be Sunday, October.
Pure wickedness.
Okay.
So now I'm confused.
All right. So that's a little part. I don't want to play too much because I don't want to get hit with a copyright strike. But yeah, but you know, that's just a little bit of that, right? That's another so-called woman. Yes, Con, yeah, both of them are wicked. Yeah, but in this particular, I only show truth, right? If a brother is showing, I know he a gatekeeper and all that, and I really don't give a damn about that brother, right? To be honest with you. But on situations, I just review the truth of the matter, right? If I see a person, right, man, doggone, man, robbing the community. How you robbing the community? You trying to fake like you care for cancer. First you lying on television talking you don't know nothing about it. But the government office told y'all to stop doing it because y'all don't even have a license to be out there selling to the people. But you out there robbing the people. That's crazy.
You know, it makes it so easy for our people to sell to their own people in these, because when you look at it, first of all, you know, the so-called black community is really not owned by, you know, the Israel black communities anyway. Basically, it's just, you know, a bunch of our people living in the hood. You got a few poor whites. Of course, you got some Hispanics and stuff like that, you know, but the government has got it set up that way. So our people can just scam on people. And Brother Aton brought up, you're not going to see that happening in the white neighborhood. You know why? Because they have laws set up for their own communities, All right, they got these HOAs that you're not going to go up in their community and try to scam these folks. You go into the high class suburbs and try that stuff. It's not going to happen. And that's why, like, when these immigrants come over here, that's the first thing they tell them is they send them straight to the hood areas. You know, where most of our people are concentrated at. And we get hit by everybody. You know, we get scammed by our own people, get scammed by the heathens, everything. Everybody's scamming us.
Every single one of these, the way that our people are started acting, a lot, of course, the sisters too, is this is a cause for the way that we've been living here in America, right? And what the heathens have been pushing to our people. More so than not, it seems that our sisters have been taking up the helm, and they're riding with these heathens extra hard, right? They have made them, talking about some, we don't want to get married until we're 30. You know what I'm saying? At the expense of their own people too, because they don't care. Like I don't care. I don't give a damn about the heathen, right? I just care about what my people are doing, my brothers and sisters are doing, right? Now, listen to them, white folks and going to their colleges and schools where they tell you that you need to get a job and work for them and do all this other stuff, right? That has turned the sisters into lions and dragons, right? Which brothers don't want to get married no more. I know y'all know this is a problem, right? I know y'all know that brothers don't want to get married no more. Everybody looking for a situationship now or a free hookup, right? Because sisters are so stupid that they think it's cool, right, for somebody to get a taste of the milk without buying the cow, right? Y'all okay with that now, right? We're in a generation where everybody's okay with doing that. That's just amazing. So the scripture saying Sirach 25, it says, "I'd rather dwell with a lion and a dragon than keep house with a wicked woman." Right? The wickedness of a woman changes her face and darkeneth her countenance like sackcloth. Now that's the scripture I wanted to pay attention to right there. The wickedness of a woman changes her face and darkeneth her countenance like a sackcloth. Now look at the women that we have today. Wicked as hell. Right? The natural woman, they don't put on all them damn wigs and weaves and eyelashes and all that crazy stuff, but the wicked woman does. She changes her face. Right? Her countenance is dark. Because you know what? She has a ton of bodies, a ton of sexual experience, right? Listening to these damn heathens, right? And then bringing it upon our people, right? Her countenance is dark like sackcloth, right? A lot of the husbands, right? They don't even want to go home. Right? Hey, man, but the brothers I work with, they don't even like going home to their wife. They don't. They're giving them a problem, right? They sit at work, make $140,000 a year, and they don't want to they don't want to go home to their wife. Their wife all. You know why? Because it says her husband shall sit among his neighbors, and when he heareth it, it shall sigh bitterly. That's what the brothers be doing at work. They sigh bitterly because they don't want to go home to a nagging wife. The scriptures are real. Why? Because they are taking up the customs and the ways of the heathen. They have become the master's pet. All wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman, that the portion of a sinner fall upon her. Brother Dane?
It is against the heathens for a woman to become a Proverbs 31 woman. Why? Because that's going to free her. And y'all wanted to know how can a woman be freed from being the master's pet? Read the book of Proverbs, the whole chapter of 31. Proverbs 31. Read that whole chapter because that's the only way to break from that spell. And that's just something that, these heathens, they do not want that. They do not want us coming together. They do not want us. They don't even want us to see it. They don't even want to see a strong brother and a righteous sister, a Proverbs 31 sister out in public. That disturbs them. But you know what makes them more comfortable? To see our sisters weaponized, become the master's pet, because that solidifies their white supremacy. That solidifies their authority over us. That makes them feel comfortable. That makes them feel comfortable seeing sisters lobbying for homosexuality, lobbying for transgenderism, lobbying for wickedness. That makes the heathen, that makes the white man feels comfortable because you know why? He knows that they're going to lead many other so-called Israelites to keep breaking the commandments.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? This is why me and Brother Aton, we go hard in the paint when it comes to the laws, commandments, and statutes, because this is what the heathens don't want us to do. This is why they have weaponized the woman to become the master's pet, so that they can continue, because they know that the woman has been heavily incentivized, and technically she's the one that's in the emotional leadership role right now, that's lobbying for everything. All the wickedness, every wickedness you can think of, A to Z, is being lobbied for through her wickedness. And this is what keeps the incentive. This is what keeps the heathens to continue to incentivize them. All right. Now, when something, I'm telling you, when civil war breaks out, or when something happens where the Most High turns the tables, and these women can no longer be used anymore to be weaponized, they're going to be dropped like a bad habit. And that's when Isaiah 4:1 is going to come into play. I see the writing on the wall, because as long as these sisters are useful and continuation of destroying of the Israelite man, they're going to continue to be the master's pet. They're going to continue to be incentivized. It's a tough thing, but I see it. I mean, man, like right before our very eyes. Like, and it's sad that it's sad that the majority of our sisters can't even see it because they are part of the problem. Go ahead.
And the sad thing about it is y'all don't see it now. Y'all never gonna see it. As you see in Isaiah 4:1, how do you think it gets to the point where 7 sisters get on one man? That means that, Brother Daniel and myself, we're gonna be talking till we blue in the face. But the reason why we're talking till we're blue in the face, because we got to do the work.
Yep.
It's required of us to do the work, because out of 1,000, maybe we can get one of y'all. Out of 2,000, maybe we can get 2 of y'all. But that's
out of 50,000, maybe one.
Bring it out, brother. Right.
Yeah.
Now I got a clip here that I found online that I thought that was interesting. That's still dealing with the same situation, because I know you can't remember your grandma out there, right? Going hard like that. Maybe you might have had your grandma out there. Maybe she might have been ironing for the white man or something like that. But man, she wasn't. But she was wearing her own real hair. She'll come back home to the husband, and treat him as he should be treated.
Where she was talking about that men do not respect women as much as they used to these days. And so my question to you ladies is, do you feel that men don't respect women the way they used to? And why?
Back in the day. Huh? You said these days. You mean back in the day?
Yeah, back in the day.
Okay.
She said that men don't respect women now as much as they used to back in the day. So, the question is, ladies, do you feel that we are not respecting you guys as much in 2024 as we have in the past?
Who want to set it off?
Hell,
go ahead, True.
Go ahead.
Hell no.
Okay. All
Hell
right.
to the no. Men do not respect women.
Look who's talking, Israel. Every time, non-married, with the heathen hair and looking like a, what, right? Let's keep it moving.
Women as much as they did in 1950, 1960.
Oh, okay.
They don't.
Elaborate.
And are we talking about any race of men?
We talking about us. We talking about us niggas.
Oh yeah. So if we talking about us, we damn sure talking about a different.
Why do you feel that way?
Right.
Because back then the man was labeled as the household. Well, first of all, a lot of us black men are not in the household.
And whose fault is that?
Here you go. Be a number of reasons. Everybody's not.
Somebody's got to be at fault.
You saw that when he asked her whose fault was it, she said, she hadn't thought about it being any.
I'm just saying I'm just saying that they don't treat us the same like they used to.
That's because y'all not on the same shit y'all used to be. If y'all was doing the same shit grandma was doing, we would have nothing but love and understanding for shit. Grandma was not doing feet pics, selling pussy on the side on OnlyFans. Grandma was not in the club on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in somebody's section trying to drink their goddamn liquor. Grandma was doing things that you guys are not doing today. So therefore, we have changed over time. Once you get back to certain ways, we can get back to certain terms. But if you're doing all this new OnlyFans shit, you better get used to some new treatment in this motherfucker. Grandma wasn't on that shit.
And I'm just going to end it right there because his profanity was just, overbearing. However, right, what the brother is saying is absolute 1,000% true. Right. If a sister wants to be treated a certain way, she has to act a certain way. Right. This is why women that act, let's say, for example, if I'm looking for another wife, right, I am not going to entertain any woman that's a whore. Why would I do that? I'm not going to go to work and make all that and make all that money and come home and give it to some woman that has not been sexually disciplined, with her lifestyle. Hey, that won't be my woman. I'm not working hard for that. I'm not doing that. right? Nobody wants to, make sure that you're okay and take care of you and all this other stuff when you done shared, you done shared yourself with 1,000 men. I'm just being, well, let's say 10 men, 5 men, 2 men. I don't care, right? Men, they're looking for women that belongs to them, like the scriptures say, right? A woman is a possession in the Bible, right? I'll buy you for some shekels. All right. So you're mine. So it's my ability, So it comes up to me in the righteousness at the Most High, throughout the word, that I'm going to take care of my wife to the best of my ability to make sure that she has a fantastic and great life, right? With raising our children, that we have a legacy to pass on, right, in the eyes of the Most High God, as our children keep the law, statutes, and commandments. I am not going to risk having a wicked child with the harlot of a woman. That's that. Do you know how crazy that is, Israel? I am not. No brother wants that. That's why the situation is like it is right now, because all the brothers, right, that are raised by single mothers, what do they see their single mothers do? Have men in and out the home, men in and out the home. So what does that have them think about the women that they're dealing with? They're going to have the same situation, because look, birds of a feather flock together, right? The scriptures say that you're going to know the countenance about the way they walk. So you know that all so-called, things that deal with whoredom, they're going to look the same. So brothers are not going to want to put all their hard work, right, into something that's going to be
trash
later on down the line. Right?
Yeah,
they're not going to want to do it, Israel. That's why when brothers look at sisters these days, they talking about next steps and chill, or they got transactional stuff, because they're looking at the sisters and they're like, well, she's not really worth me being respectful, or me being trying to build something with them. They're not looking at them like that. Why? Because you look at all these sisters out there, they talking crazy. They are talking crazy. Oh, I got 10 niggas in the chamber. Yeah, I'm every nigga's made nigga. Oh yeah, and all kinds of wickedness like that. Like, and if you watch these videos that just pop up, and every now and then I got brothers and sisters that send me videos and stuff, I look at this stuff, I'm like, man, are you serious, Israel? What in the world is going on with our people? Right? No brother worth his salt, worth his common sense is going to deal with the harlot. No one. That's why in the scriptures, God tells you to do what? Marry virgins. You go from your father's house to your husband's house. You don't go to your father's house to an apartment where you can get out and get drunk and do in the club and all this other stuff. And we just read, right, that she shall be saved in what? Sobriety. Which means what? If you got a woman that's going out to the club getting drunk, that's the wrong woman. She interested in niggas and wickedness that pop bottles, that's the wrong woman. Right? Those are the ones that are working for the white man, that's to keep you down, to keep you destroyed. The scriptures are serious, right? That's the worst thing you can get is a wicked woman on your arm. And guess what? If you choose that wicked woman, what happened to you? What does that mean about you? That somewhere in your life, you got to check yourself, because you're wicked too, brother. Brother Daniel?
All right, so y'all see these images. You saw these images I got, all right? Now, Brother Eitan just played that clip. All right, and that brother asked a question. He says, do you feel, he was setting them up. I already knew what he was going to do. He says, he says, do y'all feel like men respect you today like they did back in the day? And the girls was like, no. Oh, hell no. And then he gave him the hammer. He says, because you are not doing the same thing that grandma used to do. And it's fact. So that led me to bring up this. Can y'all see that screen? Can you see what's on the screen, brother? Can you see the images?
I can see it. Israel,
now you
can see that there, Gary.
Yeah. You look at the way, now just look at the dress alone, the attire that our people had back then, back in the 50s. It was righteous. People had suits on, the women were fully clothed. And you look at that video, these sisters these days now, half naked, harlots, full-blown harlots. So these women back then had value. They were not the master's pet.
John.
These women were not the master's pet. If you heard of a harlot or a whore, back in these days, it was very rare. Right. And they stood out like a sore thumb because they were out there, hooking and everything. They stood out. But it was very, very rare for our people to be out in the streets selling their bodies like that, for sisters especially. All right. And I'm showing you this just to bring out the fact that the how much of a change and how far we went backwards. All right. And the man didn't just wake up one day and leave the home. We had a structure that none else. All right. Marriage rate in the community was 98%, probably higher, probably close to 100. But it was a high. All right. We had values. We had morals. All right. Kids got their butts whipped if they got out of line. And if you got a whooping by your neighbor, you got another whooping when you got home. See, that's the kind of community that we had, y'all. That's the family we had, you know. And our enemies saw this. They saw that we were the enterprise from the 1920s through the mid 1940s. We were the enterprise. We were excelling at everything. All right, we just don't get the credit because they keep this stuff out of history. And these heathens came and they got together with their think tanks, and this is when they started coming up with all this stuff to take us out, And the biggest and the last thing that they came up with was to weaponize the so-called black woman. That was probably the nail in the coffin right there. And man, did it work. And you look at our sisters today, the attitude, and I'm saying collectively, we're not talking about all the sisters, all right? We know that there's still a few Proverb 31 sisters out there. And you know what's so sad, YESHA'YAHU? That these young women, they do their wickedness, and it's not until they get like in their 70s and then they start realizing, you know, oh man, I done messed up, man. They got like a high body count of 1,000 over or more. They ready to settle down. They ready to submit. Well, ain't nobody wants you by that time because you're old. Your body is wore out. You're disfigured. You're tired. You ever seen an elderly woman that looks so tired because she's been through the ringer? You know. Now that doesn't mean that the Most High won't accept you. Now you know the Most High will still accept you, but you've gotten to the point where you just abused and just mutilated your body over these years, and it took you until you got into your late 60s and your early 70s to make you finally realize what you should have done right. And then it's too late. And that's the sad part. Man, you got anything to add on to that, brother?
Actually, you know what's funny, man? While you had pulled up, you see how you put black families in the 1950s. It had prompted me to try to pull up black families in 2024. Let me show you what it's.
Oh man,
hey, bro, let me just show you what it is crazy what it looks like. Hey,
you got it.
Wait. Before I go, I want you just to scroll down, and I want y'all to see. Right, look at this right here, Israel. Y'all see how many black families it is? If you could scroll down, brother. If you could just scroll down and just show the page, the whole page, right? Look at all those beautiful black families. Right, sisters in dresses. Right, things that we gotta see a few straight here, but it's all right. It's live for right now because y'all in dresses, y'all doing y'all thing, y'all stayed in the home, right? So we see
there too.
Okay, right. So we see all these pictures of black families in black homes, right? It just prompted me for some reason just to look up and see what the heathens have done to our people, right? So I typed in black families in 2024 just so you can see how much these heathens have really done a job on our people, right? So if you look and see what. This is the black families for 2024, right? Now we know these are old, whatever, right? Go down, we'll look at some of these, right? Boom, right? Oh, mixed races, mixed race children.
Yep, mixed races. Yep, that's when you see.
We're going down there. Look at that. We know that's a mixed race drill. We're going down. We're gonna keep looking, right? I don't see hardly any fathers anywhere. Black family, right?
That's crazy.
Right? We'll go down. Where are the black families at? What is this? What is this? 2 women. This is what the black families is looking at. Oh, what's this right here? Heathens, right? This is the kind of thing that we have in 2004. They are slowly killing us. Y'all so crazy that we don't even see it. The sisters are so slow, they don't see it. Brothers still want to get married. The garbage man, the construction worker, right? Brothers still want to get married. But guess what? Y'all listening to the heathen talking about something. Y'all not going to get married till y'all get 34, 35. Nobody wants no used up woman, 34, 35 years old, with a resume of a whole bunch of dinglings. Nobody wants that. Look at this, Israel. Where the families at? Where the real families at? Look at this. Is this what they show for the family? 4 women? Are you serious? What's going on, Israel? What is going on? The black families don't look the same. Not as when you go back in the day and we saw that.
The mulatto is the new, the mamzer is the new black now these days. That's a harsh comparison, man. That's brutal.
Or the new black family is a single mother with children.
That too. Yep.
Right. You got these half-breed mamzers like Ebony K. Williams up there, right? Leading our people down to folly. Matter of fact, I got a clip I want to show y'all. Brother Daniel, I have nothing.
Hold on for a minute. So you can go ahead, pull that clip. I'm gonna pull up something afterwards. Go ahead.
Con, got you out. Let me pull that up. I think this might be it.
I'm gonna pull up single black mothers in 2023 and show y'all. This is crazy.
All right, let's check this out. This is a little short clip right here. This is just let me make sure this is the one.
Dear alpha female.
Oh, what? Sorry. Let me. We gotta do this. Good Lord have mercy.
Dear alpha female.
Okay, that's folly. First of all, second of all, right? I want y'all to understand, Israel. This is one of the ways that the so-called heathen, right? What they do, they get these mamzers, right? See, man, as we were talking about last week, right? This is how they try to get us to separate, right? They wanna mix the races. So then you get these folks right here, right, that are not black and they're not white, right? But they came from a white father or whatnot, or a mixed race child, and they take these folks that are not Israelites and they put them in front of Israelites and they named them and they are considered black, right? There's no land of black. There's no land of nowhere, right? Or none of this stuff. And in the scriptures, we know that you're not even allowed to have different clothing, right? You know what I'm saying? All your clothing has to be of either cotton, linen, right? Wool, right? Stuff like that, right? It has to be one thing, right? Main reason is because if y'all don't know that different fabrics create, they have different frequencies, right? And so if you mix frequencies with different, with different fabrics, it causes a negative effect on your body. I don't know if you know this or not, but this is the reason why we must listen to the wisdom of the Most High, right? Wearing all wool, I think that's a frequency of 2,000, right? And it gives your body energy, right? Or is it all cotton? You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. But then if you put wool and cotton together, the frequencies cancel out, right? Which is why the Most High God don't want you to mix fabrics. I don't know if y'all know that, right? But let's go ahead and, we'll see it. Now, this is a paid agent, right? This is not an Israelite. This is a mamzer, right? Someone that cannot, under no circumstance, no matter what they do, they cannot get the kingdom, right? But they got her on here to try to, push the narrative to our sisters of wickedness.
It's not him, it's you. That's the name of a book by my next guest, which is described as a love letter to the accomplished and proud alpha females of the 21st century. Y'all know her. She has it all. The degrees, the career, the lavish lifestyle, all of the sky miles, but she does not have a successful relationship. Author Crystal Jordan says, from one alpha woman to another, it is time for some serious self-reflection.
Okay, time out. Now, this is another problem too. We don't have married women giving the advice, right? You got all these idiot single women that are old as hell trying to give you advice about relationships. How are you going to give somebody advice on relationships when you don't have one? You don't got a relationship yourself. So why are you writing books? Why are you trying to convince other women about how to get a relationship when you don't got one yourself? You old as hell, done been through plenty of fornication situations, right? Used up, wicked as hell, and now you're over here trying to explain, right, what you should have done or how to get a relationship out of other brothers and sisters.
Crystal, we so appreciate you joining us here at the Griot. So let's start by defining
Dang, that's a long weave of heathen hair. Good Lord have mercy.
whether or not an alpha female, as it relates to dating, is it a good thing or is it a bad thing, or does it depend?
I think it depends. First of all, I don't think there's anything wrong with being an alpha female. I define an alpha female as a woman that has leadership skills.
There is no such thing as an alpha female because they're not supposed to be leaders at nothing, as we just read. Salakia, let me remind that back.
Or does it depend?
I think it depends. First of all, I don't think there's anything wrong with being an alpha female. I define an alpha female as a woman that has leadership skills, that is career and goal-driven, goal-oriented, and someone that takes pride in what she's accomplished, and there's nothing wrong with that.
What? Oh my goodness! You see that?
But see, that's the thing they've been instilled with, though, man, through the heathens, and so in their mind, their mind, they associate success through being, alpha mentality related. Hey, okay, my career is this. Oh, I'm leading out this. But see, in their mind, that gives them authority, and that's why that whole concept with this thing. Hey, I don't need a man. I can do this by myself. I'm strong, black, independent. It's wicked because your mind has been warped to the point where you think that because of your success of your career has made you an authority figure over the man. And nothing can be further from the truth. But this is the brainwashing. Yeah.
Let them know. Who told them this stuff though?
The heathens. The heathens,
Right.
they're the main ones. The master's pet, of course, the main one.
Let me now let's go back. Now I want you to listen to exactly what she said again. Then we're gonna go to the scriptures, right? Because I want to show you that this is a direct contradiction.
I think when
of the
it
Bible.
becomes
An alpha female, as it relates to dating, is it a good thing or is it a bad thing, or does it depend?
I think it depends. First of all, I don't think there's anything wrong with being an alpha female. I define an alpha female as a woman that has leadership skills, that is career and goal driven, goal oriented, and someone that takes pride in what she's accomplished. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Okay, I'm gonna put a pause there, right? Now you listen to all that nonsense. Hey, on the surface level, right? If you're if you don't know no better, right? These sisters out here that don't know the Bible, that don't know God, they might think that sounds good. Whoa, yeah, let's do that, right? Let's have a career driven. Right now, if you're career driven, what does that mean? Right? You're gonna lease, right? Years of college, right? Going to school, years of college and out of college, right? You get into the whatever career field that you're in, right? And then you proceed to come up from the bottom from there. These are years and years before you even think of a husband, right? You're gonna be old, 30. 35, right? Old, just like them women, old and no man. Let's see what the Bible says, right? Let's see what the Bible says about sisters and what they're supposed to do, and what the older sisters, right? Like these sisters would be considered aged in the scriptures, right? Older sisters, they're supposed to be doing what? It says the aged women likewise, that they be in behaviors becoming holiness, not false accusers, not giving them much wine, teaches the good things. Let's see what the good things are. That they must teach the young women to be sober, right? Not like these other women out there popping bottles in the clubs, right? To love their husbands. So if you're a young woman, what does that mean that you have? You have a husband. If you're a young woman, you have a husband. So are you supposed to wait, do the career, and do all of that stuff? No. You're supposed to get married when you're a young woman. Right? That they may teach the young women to be sober, right? You ain't no drunkard. To love their husbands, right? Not to be no single woman doing situationships and dating. That's not in the scriptures. Dating ain't in the Bible. Ain't no dating, right? To love their husbands, to love their children, right? To be discreet. That means you're not supposed to be on no TV or on no internet running your damn mouth. Chase. Keepers at home. Nah, I'm out in the club. I'm at the workplace. Keepers at home. Good. Obedient to their own husbands, that the word of God be not blasphemed. And these sisters out here is wicked as hell, and they're blaspheming the word of God daily. This is why we go back to Isaiah chapter 4. And why them 7 women that are trying to grab a hold of one man, they're going to all get destroyed through the spirit of fire and judgment.
And this is why the Most High is getting ready to rain down some things, because he's gonna autocorrect this stuff. And this is why I tell you, brothers, look, don't worry too much. Yeah, you continue to be a mouthpiece for the Most High. You continue to blow that trumpet, but the Most High is getting ready to put things back in perspective. Because I'm telling you something, if the women protection all of a sudden were to be snatched away, who would be protecting them right now? Let's just say that the heathens decided, they said, cold turkey, we dropping welfare, we dropping all that stuff. We don't want nothing to do with y'all anymore, because we can't, the Most High has held our hand back. What do you think would happen overnight? It would be disastrous. Because right now, the only reason why that these sisters can be the master's pet is because they're being protected. Just like a pet that's being protected by its owner. You're not going to break into you're not going to break into an owner's mansion and try to steal his pet, without repercussions. And as long as these sisters are weaponized, they are protected by their masters. And see, that's the thing. That's the illusion. But the irony of this is when stuff hits the fan, the civil war, it's gonna all go to hell in a handbasket, and attitudes are gonna change real quick.
Con.
And I'm telling you, we're gonna see Isaiah 4:1 like we've never seen it before.
Yeah. Hey, brothers, do not. Hey, listen. Right. In my profession, I work around 99% men all the time. Right. 99% men. You know, we build things. We go out and you know, all the guys, you know, that I'm around, we're on job sites, building everywhere. So I talk to brothers all the time. Right. They ain't trying to deal with sisters. They don't want to deal with it. I'm serious. They don't want to deal with it. They don't want to try to save no baby mamas. They just don't want to deal with it. I'm being real, Israel. All right. So pass this on to the sisters that are you know, that are acting up, and hopefully they repent. So when the time or the struggles come in, right? Just like today, you see brothers, they might be standing around for the sister get beat up or something. They don't care. Why? Look at the situation. Look what they're talking about now. Nobody's going to stand up for a harlot, but they'll stand up for a righteous woman, right? A woman that's you know, clothed and she looks, you know, modest, you know, with an air of mystique to her. All right. Not these harlots that are booty shaking in the streets, you know, at the behest of these heathens, right? That have tricked you into doing so. Right? It's not that, man. You might even listen. I mean, it even goes so far as that, you know, I saw another comment earlier. Brother was saying something about the rap music. Yeah, true. That's true too, right? The rap music does play a part, right? But at the same time, right, every choice is made individually. Like nobody ain't putting a gun to your head to tell you to, you know, drop your drawers and shake your nasty, stanky booty. Ain't nobody telling you to do that. But you're doing it on your own.
That's right. At the end of the day, guess what? You make a decision. Just like with me and brother Eitan, sisters, keep your legs closed. So you mean to tell me that that's impossible to do? You mean to tell me that somebody's holding you at gunpoint and telling you to open your legs up? We know that's not happening.
That's right.
So again, at the end of the day, we all have to make a decision. What is that decision going to entail? You know, doing the right thing. But again, a lot of our sisters, unfortunately, wait way too late. They'll be the master's pet for all this time, and then they hit their 60s and realizing things done got real. The reality done hit in now. It ain't all cracked up what they thought it was going to be. Trying to play the alpha role.
Brother Daniel said earlier that he brought out the scripture in the Sirach says that a harlot shall be accounted as spittle.
As spittle.
Right. The reason, like, I want y'all to really pay attention to that line right there, right? Brother Daniel brought out, that was really powerful on the Lord. I don't know why I didn't really, now I'm really just really thinking about it, right? Because if he says that a harlot shall be accounted as spittle, what does that mean, right? Why do you think the brothers are out there doing what they're doing? They treat women like nothing, because they all harlots. Virgin women ain't getting kept like, I mean, virgin women ain't getting, you know, ain't being, you know, ain't being treated like that. Women that stay in the library and reading and stuff, yeah, hey, they're not being treated like that.
You know, something. It's something about the power of your virginity. You know, when I was growing up, it was common. It was just common for any girl not to get married until they got married. Everybody, it's like every single woman that I grew up around with always talked about preserving their virginity. There was never no talk about having sex before marriage. That was kind of unheard of. If you did, it was rare. It was like, dang, you guys are abomination. You know, that was back then. But now it's highly encouraged for girls to be sexually active at a very young age. And by the time they hit 18, they've probably already done had multiple partners already. You know, yep. Ecclesiastes 26:22. A harlot shall be counted as spittle, but a married woman is a tower against death and to her man. So y'all want to keep playing those games, and it's fun right now, and it's cute, and you ignore everything that me and Brother Eitan is saying. Oh, you guys are just whatever, you know. Yep. You wait for it. You see, the Most High is patient. He's long suffering.
All right.
When that time clock hits you, 30 years from now, you're gonna realize, dang, you know. But by then, it's already too late though, and nobody wants an old wrinkled up harlot.
Hey,
you might as well just sit down, try to serve the Most High the best we can, and prepare to die.
Can you read 23 for me, brother?
Mm-hmm. It says a wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man, but a righteous woman is given to him that fears Yahweh.
Now, right? This is why in Isaiah 4:1, right? A brother that fears Yahweh, he is not going to take a wicked woman.
No,
if you have 7 women talking about something, let's please take off this you know what I'm saying, please take off this stigma of me being wicked and get married. It says what? A righteous woman is given to him that fears the Lord. Them women ain't righteous. That's why I try to say over and over again to those brothers that don't understand that scripture, that those brothers are not going to take those 7 women. They are going to be destroyed. That's their last plea to not to get destroyed. Right? So let's finish this video out. You good with that, or you want to bring something else out, brother?
No, go ahead. Go ahead and finish it out, bro.
Okay, come on. Well, let's
I forgot that damn video was playing still.
All right. Hey man, it gets worse, man. It's just, just the mind frame, right? This is the mind frame. Look at this crap in the back. Stop.
I think when it becomes a problem is when we try to apply those same characteristics that push us forward in our career or in accomplishments that we're looking for in the workplace, and we try to apply those same characteristics to dating, and that's when the problem, sometimes arises.
Why does a problem arise? Because you're not supposed to be doing it in the first place. You're not supposed to be having 2 sides of you. It's only one side of you, right? The feminine side of you. You're not out there trying to get in the white man's business and trying to, become the CEO and all. Oh, I'm trying to rule over men and have authority to tell these niggas to shut up and come on, man.
Yeah. Now, I hear the critique that you make that is some of these alpha women, and I'm going to say we because I definitely identify as an alpha woman, we tend to have unrealistic expectations in lists, right? I'm not a heightist, but a lot of us want tall, we want cultured, we want college educated. That is on my list. We want earning, at this point, 6 figures is not even descriptive enough, right? People are wanting high 6 figures, if not even 7 figures, and so on. And
Okay, right. Let me see. Hold up. Hey, how many people make 6 figures in the United States, if you don't mind? Could you please pull that up?
Hold on, give me a second.
Come on. Right.
How many people, period, or how many just you want to?
Yeah, how many men? How many men make 6 figures in America? The percentage, right? Because see,
all men or just black men? All men?
Black men, because I'm pretty sure they talking about, they want brothers, right? Come on, that's right, brother Lawrence. Alpha women is Jezebels. You can see with all the makeup and all the other stuff, painted faces just like Jezebel, right? Now, what I also wanted you to understand is that these women are talking about some who is the one here that's pushing for all these crazy crazy wants and stuff, right? It's the heathen woman, the woman on the left that's faking like she our people, but she not. This is the woman here that's talking about, oh, we want this and we want that and we want all this wickedness. Right. All right.
Can you see that?
Okay. Yeah. You see it says what percentage of black men make over 100K? Yeah, click that down there right there. You see what that no down.
Over 100. I say 6.
No. Oh, you got it right there. You see where it says people also ask? Click down and click that down arrow right there.
Which one? Hold on.
Right there. Right there. It says what percentage of black men make over 100K? Yeah, right there.
Okay.
Click that. Yeah, bro. Let's see what we got.
Right,
it says only 8%. Right, 18% of white working men make over 100K per year, compared to only 8% of black working men. Are you kidding me? Right. So it says 8% of black working men make over 100K. Now this stupid woman talking about something. She wants somebody to make well over that. The upper 6 figures, which is 500,000, 600,000, right, a year. Nobody? I mean, okay, think about this, Israel, right? The man that's making 600,000 or 500,000 is not going to want you.
That's small, man. That's crazy. Yeah, and the ones that are making it,
they're not going to want no old woman that's 35, that's been in a career driven, that got her own opinion. Those brothers ain't looking for that. They're looking for a young woman that does not have her own opinion, that does not have a whole bunch of experience, that can be teachable and could follow his program. That is what that is what the men that are making that kind of money are dealing with, right? I'm being there. You know what I'm saying? I'm being 1,000%. Every brother that I know out here that is making that kind of money, they're not looking for that. They're not looking for these women. They're not looking for no old women that are talking about something they're career driven. That's just right? This is absolutely the epitome of delusion, right? Who put this in their head, right? You go listen to these white women, right? You listen to these white women on these chastings, right? The reason why they talking about something, they want 100,000 a year because guess what? 18% of their men are making over 100,000 a year.
Yep.
That's why they're talking about that. Well, we only have 8% over here working. Why are we doing that? Because we know that the system is set up for what? It's set up for the white man. That's what it's set up for, right? So much so that this is why we have problems like the NAACP to try to make sure that a brother gets a chance or a sister gets a chance in the white man's world.
The master's pet.
Wickedness, man. Let's get it together, sisters, because y'all gonna get destroyed.
So on. Crystal, what's the advice of a woman that says, I know intellectually that those are too many things to ask for from one man because of many things, but just the marketplace does not provide many of them, period, right? The math ain't mathin'. But then this woman could also say, but honestly, if he's not educated at that level, if he's not having the income that would allow my lifestyle to maintain at least where it's at or more, I'm not as attracted. What does that woman do in that scenario?
Well, I think the first problem is a lot of times we build these fences and these high walls and high expectations
these women
because we're trying
give me
to
a headache,
protect
man.
ourselves. Because underneath
I know, I'm sorry.
all that bravado and
mad too.
accomplishment is really a scared little girl that doesn't want to be hurt or taken advantage of.
Okay. She said all the accomplishments and there's really a scared little girl that doesn't want to be hurt and does not want to be taken advantage of. However, the scriptures tell you, right, to avoid that is you go from your father's house to your husband's house. This stuff is so simple that you know, God makes it so simple for us. Yahweh, the Almighty, the Ancient of Days, makes it so simple for you women to live a great life. But instead, you want to listen to the white man, right? Y'all want to go to school and bring it out, brother.
Yeah, I wanted to bring out a point. You said that going from the father's house to the husband's house, and the way that he's got that now, it's almost like nearly impossible for that to happen in this day and age because we're such. How can I say it? We've been brought down to such a low state now, to the fact that now, like trying to live exactly like the Torah, and the fact that the damage has been done, and these women are raising the boys. You know, it's not happening like that, like the scriptures. This is why it's going to take a miracle. That's what it's going to take, the power of the Almighty to turn this whole thing around, because we're going to have to start from scratch again. We are. We're going to have to start from scratch again, the way it used to be, that a way that we've never seen in a very long time. All right.
Bring it out, brother, man.
Because I mean, because this weaponization is so fierce, and it's so engraved now. Like you can't, like the men that are, we're kind of like the tail end of the men, me and Brother Aton's age, of those who grew up at a time where the sisters valued their virginity. But us and below are like the main ones, especially newer generations that are grown, that they don't know how to they don't know how to deal with life because they've been raised by women, so their emotions are just like women, so they don't know how to deal with stuff. You remember that brother? It was a video of a brother who hit a girl in the face at the restaurant, and the girl's son shot him in the back. You remember that?
Yeah,
one?
I remember that.
But because of his emotions, he doesn't know how to handle himself like a man. You know, that could have been avoided. You know, he could have. Matter of fact, he could have even just ignored the sister. You know, the kind of stuff like that. But that's the kind of stuff we're dealing with. You're dealing with high emotional men that don't know how to control their emotions, like females. They're worse than females.
All right.
And so it's like they don't even have the qualities to be a father because they never raised to be a father. You see what we're dealing with? This is why we talk about the master's pet and how skillfully the heathens have manipulated and weaponized the black woman. Now you got a bunch of men that are incapable of being fathers.
All right.
This is what we're dealing with.
They sound effeminate. Like if you look to even a lot of brothers that aren't gay or something like that, if you listen to their vernacular and the way that they speak, these niggas sound effeminate. They sound like girls, right? They have this this way about these mannerisms, even though they're not gay, or even though they're not homosexuals, right? They sound like women. Their mentality is like women, because you don't have a man in the home to show you any better. You don't have your father in the home to establish order and discipline like the Most High has commanded, and a system that he set up from the beginning, right? So there's this thing that says, I know the sister says you can't blame the brothers. Well, you can, right? You know what I'm saying? It's you know, we all have a fault here, right? We all have a fault, but I'm just saying that right now, it's just like the fall of Adam, right? Mm-hmm. The woman is the catalyst of the issue, right? It's the catalyst of the problem, because if she can just escape the father and with the child, she can make that child do what she wants to be. Like the brother said, what was that? What was that quote you said earlier, Ak? You said something about the cradle.
She who rocks the cradle controls the world.
Khan, right? See, man, that's a good quote right there, right? Because that's what's going on right now, right? The women that are rocking the cradle of our Israelite brothers and sisters, they're controlling the world of Israel right now, and the world of Israel is in shambles. Everybody hates us, right? And they only want to use us for stupidity. Oh, yeah. They want to hear something. I mean, like, if you listen, every single music that we come out with, damn near is wicked as hell, right? Man, you got the heathens dancing, booty shaking our music, man. You think that's the kind of music that we supposed to be making? You think the Most High is up there like, yeah, man, that's that hit, that new Megan Thee Stallion or whatever these damn these nigga women out there making this these songs and stuff, right? The master's pet, Israel.
And I think that one of the things that drives alpha personalities is a fear of failure. I know for myself, I wrote this book because it described me and most of my friends. I come from an amazing tribe of accomplished women that are, our good girlfriends and an amazing support system. But most of us have come from a situation where we don't want to fail. We don't want to fail in the workplace. We don't want to fail when it comes to love. And so we create these unrealistic expectations to keep us safe. And what those things do is they keep us from being taken advantage of, but they also keep us from actually being loved and appreciated and cherished. And so what I would say is a lot of us need to reevaluate these lists, figure out, what do you actually need in life? What exactly do you need him to be 6'3" for? I remember I went to a dating matchmaker and I'm 5'2", and one of my qualifications, wanted him to be 6'3", and she said, "Crystal, why do you need all these extra inches? Like, if he's..."
We're just gonna pause right there because they're gonna get to some wickedness. But she's talking about some Israel. She had a tribe of these wicked ass women talking about something. They've been accomplished and they all that, but all of them don't got no husbands. Not one of them. Now she on here writing a book or talking about what you should be and this, that, and the third, and you still ain't got a ring on your finger. All right, this is a harlot, Israel.
Yeah.
Bring it out, Doc.
There's nothing wrong with a sister having a business. Here's the problem with that though. When you got a sister who have no kind of guidance, no man in her, and she's talking about she's independent, she got, it's not a team. It is not a team, because when you look back in the 50s, the lady who started, you ever heard of Fat Burger? It was a place up.
I heard that.
They're still here in some in Jersey and everything, but that sister was married. And she had a business, but she was still the wife of her husband. She still did the house duties of a woman, but she had her own business. So she never usurped authority over her man. So, a woman who's married and has a business, there's nothing wrong with that. So we want to make that clear. But these time and days, you got these solo sisters that claim to be successful, alpha-minded, and got these businesses and have no intentions of being with a man, but they got these kids. You can't be blessed that way. The Most High is not going to bless that. You may make money, you may seem like you're being blessed, but it's actually a curse because you do not have a team. Most High does not bless a team of me.
Facts.
Not going to work.
And you damn sure can't be like Sierra or none of this other stuff right here. I saw the other day they had that clown on there, Russell Wilson. He was on there talking about something. God led him to be marry Sierra, and then now his son is the son. That's another whole man's son, and he's alive.
Yeah.
What you talking about? The woman in some prayer that's man, the devil heard that prayer. That's exactly what happened. Right?
That's crazy.
Man, that man is an adulterer and she's an adulteress. That man has had a few children after a used womb by another man, right? She's had children after that guy. All of them children are destined to be destroyed because they was born in wickedness. Y'all think that the Most High is playing out here, that y'all can just come out here and just have all the men that you want and just have all these sexual partners, and the Most High is not going to judge. Lord have mercy, man. You y'all gonna die to death. It's really, if you don't repent, if you don't close your legs, put on dresses, and shut up, it's going to be a problem, right? And I hate to sound like that, but this is what we need right now.
A dress, man, come on, man. This new times, huh? Man, we change with the times, man. These women's gotta change with the times, huh?
I walk down the street.
There ain't gonna be no excuse.
Israel, I walk down the street and I see a lot of some of my jobs, right, that I got to go and fix these units and stuff. I am downtown, right, and downtown is really so busy. We got a lot of colleges there and things of that nature. And when you look down there, you know what the women got on? No joke, I'd say about 90% of them spandex. I'm talking about it's all up in the crack of your behind. You can see everything. 90% of the women are like that.
And that's what the hookers used to wear. Yeah, that's what these hookers used to wear back in the back when I was growing up, back in the 70s and stuff. When you saw a hooker like that, the long, tall boots and stuff with the spandex, and it was a hooker. She was out there to sell her body. But now it's a normal thing.
It's a normal thing. And then on top of that, right? If you got your butt cheeks out wiggling in the wind, you don't think that right there is a sin? Like brothers, their natural inclination is to want to be with a woman. Period. If you got your butt cheeks out wiggling in the wind, of course brothers are going to be looking. Right? It's ridiculous. It's wickedness on a whole new scale here.
We're the only ones that do it. That's why, when you talk about Babylon, America is a big portion of that. You go to Afghanistan. I was in Afghanistan, and I've dealt with the locals. I've never ever, and I've worked with interpreters, female interpreters. I've never met one Afghani interpreter female that was dressed like a harlot. They were always covered, had head wraps on, headscarves on. Because we used to have to work with them in order to get the translations and everything. But they don't play that there. Also, Middle Eastern countries out there, you don't see no women out there dressing 90% naked like they do here in the States.
Yeah, that's wild. Huh?
And they're getting locked up or do something like that there. But yeah, they want to consider those countries. Oh yeah, well they got the women in slavery. The women in slavery. A lot of the women are happy because they don't want the ways of the West, and the West is always trying to depress or force their ways on these other countries.
You don't have to worry about that clothing and all the stuff like that if you got on respectable, modest clothing, like the Most High has commanded.
Right? And see, that's another reason why for brothers to disrespect a woman too, because of that. When they see you that dressed like that, you think they don't respect. If you don't respect your own body, if you don't respect your own attire, then what makes you think a brother's gonna respect you? Think about it. A brother is gonna respect a woman who has a virginity. Who dresses modestly, because she's not going to let any dude just come up on her like that, or she's going to marry just any dude. So a brother might have to change his game up.
That's right. Dealing with the carnal nature, right? If I'm out there and I see you, in spandex with your butt cheeks wiggling in the wind, I'm damn sure ain't thinking about marriage. I ain't thinking about trying to take care. I'm thinking about getting them cheeks. Right? The brothers are out there that are in the carnal spirit. That's what they're thinking about. They're not thinking about marriage. They think about smacking them cheeks that they see right there in the middle of the street. It's all out for everybody to see. And then they wonder why nobody ain't taking them serious. Oh, they ain't taking me serious. All they want to do is Netflix and chill. Well, sister, when they saw you, you had a low-cut top that had half of your breasts showing, and spandex on your booty cheeks wiggling in the wind. They're not going to take you serious. Why? Because you want to do what? You started back in the early when there was the World War, following behind the master's pet. What do you become the master's pet? The white women decided that, you know what, we're not going to wear dresses no more. Let's start wearing pants. That's the downfall of y'all right there. Y'all teamed up. They now y'all just forgot about all the slavery and all the stuff that we went through and all this other stuff. Y'all forgot about that. Y'all forgot about they the enemy, all of this stuff. All right. Y'all said, you know what? I'm about to get down with the white woman. Yes, sir. Hey, as soon as they had that, guess what? Biff, Todd, and Bryce and all of them, they in the back. Oh, we got them now. Yes. Finally, let's go ahead and finish up writing up this plan that we got for them. You know what I'm saying? Now, first we're gonna start with pants right here. And then in my 25 year, soon we're going to get them with less and less and less clothing. Then, well, that we're going to go ahead, we're going to talk about some women's rights. Right? We're going to get y'all to, even though y'all ain't made a damn thing in the world, really, you know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't made no laws, ain't no cars, no nothing. Everything y'all got, men created for y'all. But we're going to put this in y'all mind, right? That y'all gonna have equality. The same, you don't got to listen to men no more. Even though men built the world that you live in. Every single thing that you have, you live your daily life by the rules that some man has put into place. But all of a sudden, y'all talking about y'all equal. Y'all want to do this. Y'all, I don't want to do this old nigga. I don't want no nigga unless he got $100,000. Are you kidding me right now, Israel? It's foolishness, folly, wickedness, right? The white man has been planning this from the beginning. Right? He does not want the people. Remember now, 400 years of ass whooping, rape, robbery, murder of our people. You think these folks want you to get any kind of strength to come up? No, they don't want that. Right? They don't want you to have any kind of symbolism of righteousness, because what? With righteousness comes power. I will show you something that even in the heathens' way, when they were attempting to live righteously in the beginning, right? They're talking about a nation under God, and they had the Bibles in the schools, and all the women were wearing dresses and this, that, and the third. What happened to America? Right? I will show you how righteousness at any level produces positivity and produces power. What we had, the Industrial Revolution. Cars, trains, right? All kinds of stuff starts getting made up. When America was doing what? They weren't wicked as hell, were they? No. They were doing what they were supposed to do. Now, ever since we got this wickedness involved, what do we see with America? We're going downhill. Everybody now talking about transgenderism and faggotry and everybody talking about something they equal with man. All kinds of foolishness is going out of the window. What is a woman and cis men and him, they, them, this, and all of this wickedness. No more Bibles in the schools. What is going down? We are steadily going down into the void, right? You know this place gonna get destroyed like Babylon. It's looking like it every single day. This is it.
And worse, doubling.
Huh? And this is what? This has been orchestrated all by the
it's like it's like every month. It's like it's quicker. It used to be every year, but every month it's like the wickedness is doubling. It's like our people coming up with new ways to be even more wicked. The master's pet.
The master's pet.
Yeah. Well, Israel, we don't want to overstress this thing and get too far off the subject, but just remember everything we talked about and how these sisters have become the master's pet, because that was like the nail in the coffin to destroy the black family, and they outdid themselves on that one. Because you look at it now, man, what better way to destroy the black family? Use the black woman.
That's right.
Because again, the war is against the men, not the women. If the war was against the women, then it'd be the opposite. Then it'd be the women in the jail. It'd be y'all, But our sisters have been incentivized, weaponized. Don't even realize it.
You know what I'm saying? It's like the reason why a remnant of Israel will be saved is because it's just like the beginning. The woman does not know her place.
Yep.
All you have to do is just obey God. That's it. It's not that hard. It doesn't hurt you, right? Obeying God will save you a lot of pain, a lot of trauma in your lifetime, right? That's it. Right. So if you sisters out here, if you are single mothers, right, you know, and you are repentant, all praises to the Most High God, right? May He bestow blessings on you, on all you repentant sisters out here, right? That you're able to teach your children, you're able to come to some kind of agreement, right? And you know, work out some kind of and get along with the father of your child, which is your husband. Might add you on the low, right? Which is really your husband, even though y'all might be separated or whatever it is, right? I encourage every single one of y'all to teach your daughters this thing, right? Be like, hey, you know, whenever you decide to get a boyfriend, and even if you got your daughters living with you, now if you're a single mother, you got your son living with you, right? That's wicked. Yeah, hey, go ahead and give your son back to your give him back to the father. Give him to the father. It's not for you. If you read in the scriptures, there's no time ever when there's single mothers in the scriptures. There's not like that, right? If the mom didn't do what she was supposed to, she got kicked out of the house and got sent down the road with nothing. And the father rules the family. That's how it is. You see that today? It says that every family home, they have the same exact chance of being successful if they just have the father in the home. They only get degenerate behavior when it's the mother raising the children. That's the fact, right? So I encourage every single one of you sisters to please, right? You know, if you do have it, or let's say if you're in a situation where you can't give the man to your let's say if you're in a situation where you can't give your son back to the father, right? Or you're in a situation where you can't give the daughter back to the father, right? When it's time for her to get to that age where we need to find and she needs to get married, make sure that the father is interviewing these interviewing the men that they're interviewing. Make sure, hey, lay down the law, right? Like I got a daughter, right? When my daughter gets of age and I'm looking for a husband for her or whatnot, and she might like, hey, the man's gonna come to me and I'm gonna talk to him. And I'm like, hey, and I'm gonna say, if you even think about approaching my daughter any kind of sexual, man, you will be a hump in the ground outside. You will be a hump in the ground if you try to approach my daughter with any kind of wickedness to try to get her to be a whore in front of the eyes of the Most High God. That's not going down with my family. Brother Daniel? I don't have nothing else.
All right, brother, yeah, that's it. YESHA'YAHU. So, hey, look, if anybody doesn't have anything, we're going to go ahead and let y'all enjoy the rest of the Shabbat and everything. And oh, okay. So I was just looking at Rachel was saying single fathers do a much better job. A much better job at raising, because it's that tight net they have with the kids. That's the way the Most High designed it. It's that bond. All right, YESHA'YAHU, I pray that you all are edified and really just go back. For those of you who came on a little late, just go back. It'll post onto the live, and then you'll go back and you can watch the lesson through there and get it from the beginning. So with that being said, if I don't have anything else, Brother Aton doesn't have anything else, we're gonna bid you a hearty Shabbat Shalom.
And stay strong, Israel.
All right.